Jaya Sri Radhe, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. This is Sunday Satsang, June 18th, 2023. Question and answers format. So, oh boy, any questions from Chandi Chowk or Red Fort?
They are the videos from Chandi Chowk of grandson being such an eager devotee, doing 108 Tulasi Parikramas every morning. He doesn't want to go to school until he's told, yes, he did 108 times Tulasi Parikramas while chanting Harinam. So Haridev did send a video.
Acha. Wow, that's pretty good. Bhakti has unlimited ways to express itself. 108 fragments of Tosi, that's good. Questions?
Or I can ask a question. Would you, for like someone like myself who's not born in the Gaudiya tradition, or someone who adopts Gaudiya tradition recently, do you think it's important or not important to kind of study Gaudiya history to understand all the ways the Gaudiya tradition has evolved over time, and the different, how the different parivars interacted, and the clashes, and the things, or should we just kind of ignore it and just see how the Gaudiya movement is today, and just take it as it is today, and kind of go from there? What would you recommend?
Hey, monkey there, go get to Maharaj. Monkey just pushed the door open. He's in the front gate. Maharaj, cat chowkidar. Monkey just pushed the door and walked in. Monkey Darwaza Kolo. He's not coming to class. We have enough monkeys in class. These monkeys are invited. Only monkeys by invitation. The big guy. You went for it. Okay. So the question is asked, is it important to study Gaudiya history? And the answer is yes, it's important, but it's not the most important thing. Personally, I've been involved in Gaudiya Vaishnava for 48 years. And I don't know very much about the history. I just whatever I picked up along the way. Because mostly different opinions, different controversies, different challenges, Rupa Goswami and Rupa Kaviraj and all this stuff. It's interesting. And Galta and Ramanandi's taking Puja Govindaji, and Govindabasi was written. You know, whatever you learn as you pass along. I didn't make a separate study, but I probably know what's going on. I didn't waste time making a separate study. I kept my ears open. And I didn't go look at articles about that. Because the main thing is, the purpose of human life is to develop love for Radha and Krishna. So there are unlimited knowledge and bhavas and feelings all involved with Radha and Krishna. So there's no time for everything. Because you could be a jack of all trades and a master of none, a phrase in America. I know a little cooking, I know a little auto mechanics, I know a little computer repair, but I don't know anything enough to make any money. So you have to be proficient in one thing to be successful in the economic field. So our proficiency is in Krishna praying, Radha Krishna praying. And these things are extraneous to that objective. It's called Srup Siddha Bhakti, means hearing and chanting, remembering Radha and Krishna. That's the primary thing. If you have an intellectual appetite and you want to go that way, it's okay, it's not wrong, many devotees get involved that way. But as far as my subjective answer to the question is, I would encourage someone to spend all their time hearing, chanting, remembering Radha and Krishna, Nam Rupa Guna Lila. Because this is our objective, our art, our Purushartha is prema. Radha Krishna Prema. So everything about them, what does Rupa Kaviraj have to do with Radha Krishna Prema? Well, the Nitai Gaur Radha Swami people have to do, there's so many different groups. Main thing is you find your guru, you put your head to feet of your guru, and you follow your guru to Radha Krishna. That's all. What's the big deal? You find first the most important thing is to find a guru you put your head out and surrender your heart to. Put your head at his feet and surrender your heart to his heart. Then your life is successful. You don't need another guru, you don't need another Sikh guru, you don't need anything. The main thing is to find a Sadguru, and you got perfection. So if you look at the life of Srila Prabhupada from ISKCON, he was A.K. Hakuranandana, a Gita. He wasn't, his intelligence was fixed. Everything you see is Hari Krishna mantra. And the goal of life is worshiping Krishna. That's all he ever saw, any Shastra. Like for example, this is the 14th chapter of Gita. It says, Brahmano hi pratistham. Anyway, there's a verse, I think, 14th chapter of Gita. It says, Brahmano hi pratistham. I heard a lecture by Satyanarayana Babaji. He says from Sanskrit, because Prabhupada says Gita as it is, but actually everything spiritual is subjective. The Bhagavad Gita as it is, according to Srila Prabhupada. Because this verse, I think it's 14:27. Brahmano hi pratistham.
Amritasya.
Brahmano hi pratistham amritasya yes. Yeah. 14th chapter, huh? So in this verse, it's in the 5th declension. And it awakens, like Chinmayananda's mission, etc., Shivananda, Chinmay. This verse, you can translate to Sanskrit. The Sanskrit is spoken by Krishna, all right? So the Sanskrit can be taken, I am the source of Brahman, or my origin is Brahman. It's the same Sanskrit, the same Bhagavad Gita. So Bhagavad Gita, as it is, according to the Waitan Sampradaya, impersonalists, they're going to say that Krishna is coming from Brahman. The Srimad Sutra is Brahman. And the Sanskrit verse supports that. So you can't say, and they can say, this is Shastra Brahman, this is Prastantraya, Upanishads, Vedanta Sutra, Gita are the three forms of Brahman, Prastantraya. So the Vedas will quote Gita and say, Krishna originates in Brahman. And Vaishnava, Gaudiya Vaisnavas will say, Brahman is the opposite of Krishna. Krishna's line is source of Brahman. So there you go. So Shastra themselves are so confusing. That's why you need to have a teacher, a guru, to explain everything. So to understand the truth, you need guru, and you have to switch the guru and follow the guru. But you're crazy about history and stuff. And you see, some people can't sleep because they're bugged by different things like this. So it's not wrong to study Gaudiya history because it's connected to Krishna and Gauranga. But my subjective answer is spend all your time hearing and chanting, remembering Radha and Krishna. That's my as it is take on it.
Maybe just as a follow-up, the reason I asked the question was in my experience, many people I meet, at least in some institutions, because they don't have a perspective of outside the institution, not having studied the history, there is more tendency to commit aparadh because...
Yeah, that's right. Now mine is ignorance.
Yeah, and because they haven't studied the history, they're like, Gaudiya Vaishnavism originates from Bhakti Vinod Thakur, right? Something like that. And before that, everything else was, just the 2-3 people in the parampara and nobody else existed in the world, right? And so that
that's pretty narrow.
Yeah, that was kind of my
experience.
That was kind of my motivation to study Gaudiya history.
To find the truth.
To not commit aparadh. so not to see like,
Well, I have an amazing article that was sent to me by some well-wishers. It's about flaws of ISKCON Gaudiya Vaisnava and Bhakti Thakur. So you really want to get knocked in the face, I'll say, if you give me your email, I'll send it to you. Then I'll send you for a loop, as we say. I mean, the truth is, they say the truth hurts, but sometimes you have to get some pain to get gain. So sometimes you have to get pinched to wake up. Maybe your pinching hurts, but you wake up and go to school and get past your exam, But your mother lets you sleep, you miss your exam, then you miss the opportunity to pass the grade. Because you can't take the exam again. So mother may pinch you, may hurt you, pinch you, you gotta go take the final exam. Oh yeah, thank you. So truth is pinching. It wakes you up from a lifetime of illusion. It's like, wow. People like illusion. Illusion is comfort zone. We get conditioned by our ignorance. Truth sets us free, but people like to be bound by ignorance. There's Andra Davidasi. So, 2 darshanas. A saintly person. Lucky soul. Okay, let's go here. Is that okay?
Yes.
Yeah, study history. You got your young guy, you got a lot of years. Study history, do your Bhakti bhajan. Doesn't take 1 week, you got to study everything. Okay, where are we? Question. Question. I seen a long time, I think I went to Moscow or something, or Ukraine or whatever. Serbia.
Was supposed to go Maharaj to extend the documents, but still it's in process. So let's see how that arranges. Might need to go and hope with your blessings and come back. That's the only.
Yeah, well, you're doing a lot of savings, so you look pretty blissful. Doesn't look like it's hurting you. You say you're doing so much saving, you can't come to class. Well, it's seriously, you look blissful. And that's what they say, Nityananda. Nityananda, he's always absorbed in saving, he's always blissful. He's the biggest servant of Gauranga. So he's always blissful, Nityananda. You got out from the 9 to 5, huh? 10 to 6. 1 day free. Okay, good. Have any questions? No. Sir, you have any questions?
I don't speak English nicely.
You speak okay. I heard your YouTube movies, many of them. You speak good. You always say you don't speak good English. Your English is quite good. I saw comments also. People say, "Oh, I like it when this Russian man sings Bengali bhajans." Because you sing in bhajans, and people make comments on your YouTube. Oh, it sounds so nice when he sings. I saw the comments also. Yeah, you have to be confident. They're Indians. They don't know Hindi or try to speak English. Russian or whatever, try to speak English. You're the same. So don't feel embarrassed. Go speak.
Maybe after 10 minutes.
Okay. Okay. Actually, when you talk like a professor. So you remind me of some guy that's a professor at Johns Hopkins University, Southeast Asian Studies. Probably, O'Connell or some famous guy like that, That's cool.
Can I can ask another question?
Yeah, go ahead.
So there are some, without naming names, sometimes some people seem that they have achieved a high level of bhakti realization, but their understanding of tattva seems to be lacking in some ways. So how do we kind of reconcile that? Like, they're talking about like their, and they seem like perfectly genuine and realized. But then, like they're talking about like the jiva fall down, for example, like which is a very basic tenet of Gaudiya Vaishnavism. So it's like seems like hard to reconcile that, they're at the stage of bhav, for example, but at the same time, they believe that they were with Krishna. They came back, they came down from there, and now they're at bhav again, right? So how do we kind of reconcile that? I don't know if you have a comment or.
Bhakti is a very deep ocean, because we read the biographies of great saints. Sometimes externally they appear like fools, but they're prema bhaktis or bhava bhaktis. When you ask about tattva, they'll say they don't know. There's even one Babaji, lives in Radha Kunda. He even says, if you want to know about tattva, that's my disciple. He just likes to chant Hare Krishna. And he's respected and honored as a very advanced saintly person. But he doesn't, maybe he's a simple person. He was just attracted to chanting Hare Krishna and meditating on his truth. And he never studied tattva philosophy much. So he doesn't even pretend to answer any questions. You ask him, he says, I don't know tattva. Ask my disciple. So it's hard to measure Vaishnavas. Vaishnava Kriya Mudra. The movements and position of a Vaishnava are very hard to measure, very hard to understand. But generally, when one's seeking a guru, the primary qualification of guru is he's tattva jnani. He knows the bhakti tattva. This is the primary qualification. And this you can measure with your ears and what's compared to Shastra. But what he says, what's in the Shastra, what his bhav is, whether he's a ruchi or a sakti or nishtha, that's very hard to understand by external observation. By external observation, you can understand if he knows or she knows tattva. The most important thing, guru is supposed to know tattva. Because generally, although the Babaji I cited is a famous guru, he doesn't know very much tattva. He just knows how to surrender to Krishna and love Krishna. And that's the ultimate tattva. As far as all fine points of philosophy and tattva, you may not be able to give all the answers you're seeking, so you'll feel unsatisfied there. That's why the role of Shiksha Guru comes in. Shiksha Guru connects you with the highest reality through his kripa and mantra and the realization of those mantras. And then the Shiksha Guru may help you understand more clearly all that through his Shiksha. So that's why in Gaudiya Sampradaya we have interplay of Diksha and Shiksha. So when you're looking for a guru, the main thing you should look with your ears. It's not bad. Bombay Star just came in from Bombay Airport. Put her baseball hat and traveling. She just got off first class plane, British Airways. Famous one-way star, movie star, baseball cap, tight pants, little traveling bag. Junior movie star. Savidi Pranipatina Parivarsina Se Vidakshanti Ganya Savadarshana. Everywhere it tells qualification guru, Brahmanishtam, Taviganartam Sagrumi Vavigachat. Svedpani Shotyam Brahmanishtam. Guru should be Nishta and Brahman, spiritual knowledge. Guru should know the truth, live the truth and speak the truth. And the truth is it's Shastras, doesn't make up something. Questions? No questions?
No Italian.
No Italian.
Do manjaris, like here in this world, sadhakas, we have some tensions about seva, do we eat enough good or not good? And do manjaris also have such tensions about do they do enough good seva for the dharana, or they just do and everything is okay, automatically it goes.
Question is, in the spiritual world, Rani's maidservants, dasis, kinkaris, manjaris, the comparing the dasis in the spiritual world to the dasis in the material world. The sadhakas that are in Manjari Bhav have a Manjari Srup and trying to serve Radha and Krishna. Whether a man or a woman, they feel some anxiety for seva and they want to do it perfectly, and so many challenges come to execute their service perfectly according to their definition what is best and what is perfect. Because Krishna is perfect, Radha is more perfect, so we want to offer the most perfect service to Radha and Krishna. So we're getting tension, we're getting anxiety. So is this same anxiety and tension in the spiritual world? What do you think the answer is? Yes, you're right.
I wish no, but
you wish there be no tension there. I always say no tension. But there's all tension. Tension and attention.
yeah.
To be attentive, you have to be tense. Tension. This is love. How much, look at Yashoda, she's a lover of Krishna. And she's breastfeeding Krishna. And so she has one eye on Krishna, one eye in the kitchen. Like any mother. One eye's on the baby, one eye's on the pots cooking. So she sees the milk is boiling on the stove. And she's in tension. She's anxiety, oh, the milk's gonna boil over. Why do my baby? Put it down. Because this milk is to make burfi for him. To make sweet rice for him. So it's for his service. So Krishna's service is the ultimate thing. So she puts him down momentarily, and she's in great tension. So Radharani is no tension. She's the most tension. Because she has the most love for Krishna, does the most intimate service, so she's in the most tension, the most anxiety, to do it perfectly. And she has the most challenge, because she's cooking for Krishna, and Krishna's the object of her love. And Krishna's flirting with her when she's in the kitchen, trying to distract her. She's trying to be very attentive to cooking. Krishna's peeking in the kitchen and speaking at Madhamangal loudly enough so she hears it. He said, hey Madhamangal, this girl in the kitchen, does she know how to cook or what? Does she know how to cook? I think so. Everybody Brad says Radharani's a good cook. I don't know. So she can't be attentive because Krishna's trying to distract her. He describes sometimes in Raslila, Krishna plays the flute, and the gopis plays veena. So Krishna tries to make the gopi play the veena like Radharani, for example. He tries to play it off, he plays off a different note, the wrong note. So trick Radharani to make a mistake on the veena. He goes, da-da-da-da, and she goes, she has to be really attentive, because he's looking at her, he's playing the flute, dancing with his eyebrows, and then she plays deliberately off key, and Radharani's playing, I'm not going to go off key, you're not going to trick me. So Krishna literally tries to disturb Radharani in her service to increase her tension, to increase her anxiety. So here, I don't think when you're cooking for Krishna, Krishna goes in the kitchen and pulls on your sari or anything. Does he? There's a story in Purushottam Chobe, his wife in Mathura. She was cooking for Madan Gopal. They had a murti of Madan Gopal. And Madan Gopal, the murti, used to play with her son Gopal. She had a son named Gopal. And the murti used to come out of the temple and go in the backyard and play with her son Gopal. And sometimes she was cooking khichdi for breakfast, and Gopal, her son, and Madan Gopal, Thakurji Murti, they would start pulling on her sari. Mommy, we're hungry, hungry. And she would get distracted. And she said, wait a minute. And so she sometimes, they said, she'd be in the bathroom brushing her teeth with a neem twig. And they would come in and pull her sari, we're hungry, we want khichdi. So she would run out of the bathroom with the neem twig and brush teeth and stir the khichdi with the neem twig. She's stirring the khichdi with the neem twig, neem dant. And the kids, Madan Gopal Thakurji and Gopal, her son, are pulling, hurry up. And Sang Goswami came here to Madhukari. He sees the murti of Gopal on one side, Madan Gopal pulling son on the other side. The lady stirring, what are you doing? Roko, stop, Roko. That's Bucci, what are you doing? I can't help it, these boys, they won't let me go, you know. They're hungry, I have to feed them. So I got brush my teeth. So Krishna puts the boys in tension. So tension and anxiety is here in sadhana group, and more and Siddharu. I make a joke and I say no tension. All the time I say no tension. That's when people are worried about material things. They, this wife, this husband, this job. I say no tension, no tension. Just come to spiritual life, it's all tension. Spiritual life is tension 24/7. Tension. But it's loving tension. It's like if a wife, you tell a wife to carry 100 bags of flour. 100 kilos of flour. That's heavy. She holds it on her belly, she tries to carry it. Oh, she can't carry it. It hurts so much. Goes so much tension. But the wife gets pregnant and she has 4 kilos inside her belly. She carries for 10 months, no problem. That's the tension of love. But carrying 100 kilos of flowers is not, could be tension of love also, but not the same dimension. So in the spiritual world, everything is based on love, plus happiness of Krishna. So that's why I say there's no tension. Now the tension that the devotee experiences in the service of Krishna is another form of bliss. Because it's connected to seva. It's tension connected to seva, and seva is bliss. So tension is bliss. Hangs are bliss. No way out. She was thinking when I got up there, no more tension. I'm just tricking you. No tension. Oh, Maharaj said no tension. Maybe he's in a place where there's no tension. Question. This is not.
Here's the question.
So,
You have a question?
yeah. So many Vaishnava follow some different modes. And for example, in Bhakti Saraswati line, devotee explain Gauranga Nagari is wrong mood. Yeah? But I think some devotee in Radha Kunda follow this Gauranga Nagari. Yeah? And very, very true about this subject.
Ranganagari.
Yeah.
Ranganagari apparently is a bhav that's in some of the eternal associates of Lord Chaitanya. Like Narahari Sarkar is, I think, and Lochan Das Thakur. Lochan Das Thakur, who wrote famous bhajans, Parama Karuna Pandurajan. Lochan Das Thakur and Narahari Sarkar, they were Nagari Bhav, for sure. Gauranga Nagari. So, wherever Lord Chaitanya is in the material world having his Leela, these devotees are there in that mood of Nagari Bhav. So it's an eternal stairati with Gauranga. So there are some people in Vrindavan, Radha Kunda, Navadvip, Puri. There are some people following that. So that's Chaitanya Bhagavat, Vrindavan Das Thakur doesn't describe it very favorably as an ideal stairati to pursue for a sadhaka. But stairati may be coming from previous life also. a particular sthairati means a dominant mood of love towards Krishna, like Madhurati, Vatsalyarati, Sakyarati, Dasarati. So Gauranga-rati is Madhurati, amorous love for Lord Chaitanya, in the mood of a Brahmani, a lady of Navadvip. So Narari Sarkar, Loshan Das Sarkar, they think that they have female forms as Brahmanis, and they have relationship with Gauranga, amorous relationship. That's what Nagari. Nagari means female lover of Gauranga. It's like the gopis are lovers of Krishna. They're coward girls or Vaishyas, lovers of Krishna. But Gauranga is a Brahmin, so his lovers are wives of Brahmins. Gauranga Nagari. Nadia Nagaris. Lochandas Thakur writes bhajans about Gauranga Nagari Bhav also. And Narari Sarkar maybe also, I don't know, but for sure Lochandas Thakur has a whole bhajan book about Nagari Bhav. So it's a real thing.
My question, I understand spiritual world is so big, yeah, and so many moods is available. Yeah, I understand this. But Srila Prabhupada in his book many times writing, yes, we don't accept Gauranga Nagari Bhav. Yeah? And how understand this point deeply and without offenses?
Well, I understand this point deeply without making offenses. We just accept this is his viewpoint. It's he's saying we means we is a way of saying I. Also Indian language, when they say we, they mean I. There's a funny story about this. When Prabhupada was on a Jaladuta coming to America in 1965, he said, when we were on the boat, we had a very difficult time. And the devotees heard New York heard Prabhupada say, I thought you were alone. You said, well, we were on the boat. He said, we were on the boat. Who were you with, Prabhupada? Who were with your son or with your wife or with your friend? Who were with? You said we means two. You and me is we. No, that's just our Indian humble way of saying I. In India, we don't say I so much, we say we. So the same way Prabhupada is saying, we don't accept Gauranga Nagari Bhav. So that's Prabhupada's subjective viewpoint. So you can be a follower of Prabhupada and respect his viewpoint, respect that, he believes that, but he also can keep an objective, open-mindedness. Prabhupada doesn't accept it, but it's the reality, it's the eternal reality. Prabhupada didn't just Prabhupada made a statement just to close the case. We don't accept it, boss. Like one disciple was asking an ISKCON Guru. He said, because many ISKCON Gurus let their disciples bathe in Radha Kunda. Because Prabhupada says we can bathe in Radha Kunda in nectar instruction. And some ISKCON Gurus, they don't allow the disciples to bathe in Radha Kunda. So the disciples asked the Guru, said, Guru, can we bathe in Radha Kunda? So what did he answer? He said, I don't bathe in Radha Kunda. He said, I don't bathe in Radha Kunda. So the disciple took that to mean, oh, you don't bathe, therefore we shouldn't bathe. But I asked the disciples, 3-4 disciples there, I said, but he didn't say you couldn't bathe, he just said, I don't bathe. You went there and asked him, can we bathe in Radha Kunda? He didn't say yes, he didn't say no. But all 5 devotees who were in that meeting with the Guru, they don't bathe. I said, that's not really intelligent, because he didn't say yes, he didn't say no. So subjectively you could take it. Well, you don't bathe, but you didn't tell me I couldn't bathe. Just like the Shastras. The Shastras, Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Bhagavat. None of these three books, or any of the Goswami writings, say that Lord Chaitanya chanted Hare Krishna mantra in Kirtan. Or Hari Bhakti Vilas. But they don't say he didn't chant it either. They don't say he did chant, they don't say he didn't chant. Chaitanya Bhagavat, I researched the whole book. I gave class in every verse. There's about eight or 10 times it describes the Harinama Sankirtan of Lord Chaitanya, and it's never chants Hare Krishna. He chants Shri Krishna Govinda Mukunda Murari. Shri Krishna Govinda Mukunda Murari Vadamali. Shri Krishna Govinda Murari Mukunda Vadamali. Variations like this. It's described anywhere in the whole Chaitanya Bhagavat. It describes Nam Kirtan Chaitanya. Doesn't chant say Hare Krishna mantra. So you could say we shouldn't chant. No, it doesn't say he did chant. Doesn't say he didn't chant. My guru also taught me this. He said, so what we see is that Gaudiya Vaisnava chant Hare Krishna mantra in Kirtan for 500 years. So that means that Lord Chaitanya didn't prohibit it. Although it's not described in the books, he didn't say we couldn't chant it. So Lord, so back to the point, Prabhupada's saying, I don't accept Gauranga Nagari. That doesn't mean it's not real, doesn't mean it's not true. You understand what I'm saying? Hey, your wife.
I don't understand clearly, but I hope my question is for your good answer, understand all devotees. And after I am listening this in a recording, and my wife translate me later.
Yeah.
I understand around 30% what you say, because my English is very bad.
Yeah, my speech is also bad.
No, it's because I don't speak English.
No, it's okay.
One more thing. Srila Prabhupada explained in commentary of Chaitanya Charitamrita, Mahaprabhu feeling inside, I am Radharani, yeah? And I am love to Krishna. But if some devotee from the Gauranga Nagari Bhav worship to Mahaprabhu and say you are Krishna, this is disturb Mahaprabhu internal mentality, because Mahaprabhu thinking I am Radha, and this is reason why ISKCON don't accept Gauranga Nagari Bhav, because this mood disturb of internal mood of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah, well, the thing is, Krishna has many moods with different devotees. In Gita chapter 4, verse 11, Krishna says, I reciprocate with your love as you love me. So you love me like a son, I'll let you be my mother and father. You love me like a wife, I'll let you be my wife. You love me like a girlfriend, I'll love you like a girlfriend. You love me like a friend, I'll let you be my friend. You love me like a servant. So Gauranga is the same way. Gauranga is Krishna Srupam. That's the first thing to understand. Gauranga Mahaprabhu is Vande Krishna Srupam. This is Adilila chapter 1. Vande, the Rupa of Gauranga is Krishna. He has the Bhav and Kanti of Radharani. He has, for himself, he's relishing the Bhav. But he's relishing different Bhavas. He's not relishing Radha Bhav with Sachimata. He sees Radha Bhav, but with Sachimata he's relishing motherly Bhav, Vatsaya Bhav. And with Jagannatha, with his friends in school, he's relishing Sakhiras. Throwing ink on each other, wrestling in the Ganga, swimming. He's relishing friendly Bhav. So he's relishing all kinds of Bhavs. But Krishna's personal desire is to relish Radharani's Bhav. But he's not limited, Krishna's not limited to that. So those who are in Nagari Bhav, those Gaudiya Vaisnavas who are in Nagari Bhav, they want to worship Gauranga as Krishna, as a lover of Krishna. Gauranga can fully accommodate them. It's not against his bhav, because he has unlimited bhavas. That's the way Gaudiya Vaisnava presented to disturbing his bhav. I don't agree with that. My guru doesn't agree with that either. They're not disturbing his bhav, because his bhav is individual for each bhakta. Krishna doesn't have just one bhav. He all 5 stairatis, he reciprocates every stairati. Because he's a Prema Vishai, and Prema Ashrai has 5 different varieties. Prema Ashrai, Motherly Ashrai, Lover Ashrai, Das Ashrai, Sarana Ashrai, like that. So he's the object of love. Prema Vishai is Krishna, but the lovers are different. But you're one person. You have one kind of love for your wife, one kind of love for your daughter, one kind of love for your mother, one kind of love for your brother, one kind of love for your friend. You're one person. Different kinds of love. So Krishna's more than that. He's one lover, he has thousands of devotees. And he reciprocates equally. He says that in Gita 4:9, 4:11. Yeah. So this guy has a review, Gaudiya has a review, but it's not very broad-minded. It's not very philosophically broad either. Because Mahaprabhu is Krishna, because his Radha Bhava aspect enters when he leaves Navadvip. And Gauranga Nagaris, they don't leave Navadvip, they stay in Navadvip, worship Gauranga in Navadvip. They don't worship Chaitanya in Puri. That's why they call Gauranga Nagari, not Chaitanya Nagari. Because in Navadvip Leela, for the first 24 years of his life, he was Gauranga Bhav, he was a Krishna Bhav. Some little Radha Bhav was entering before he took sannyas. Mostly he was in Ishvara Bhav, Krishna Bhav. So the Nagari, Gauranga Nagaris, they're not worshiping Gauranga in Puri or in Southern, they're only worshiping Gauranga in Navadvip. Nadia Nagari. It's a real thing, it's a true thing. We shouldn't offend those devotees by misunderstanding. That's how you start your question. Your question is good because you showed some respect for them. Respect all devotees.
Yes, of course, yes.
No, you're a very broad-minded, good, intelligent devotee. I like you. No, I've seen your YouTube movies. You're a very intelligent guy. Good heart.
Thank you so much.
You're intelligent. That's why you're asking these questions. Try to understand. You're ISKCON devotee. I'm ISKCON guru. That's very good and perfect. But you should also keep your mind open. But don't offend anyone.
I'm not fighting with you. Yeah, I just give a question because I want to understand opposite meaning. And right now my question is like this. Also, million times Dandavat Pranam, I not make offense. I just want to try to understand. Because Prabhupada and Chaitanya Charitamrita give this example. Yeah, if we worship to Mahaprabhu in Gauranga Nagari mood, you disturb this mood, Mahaprabhu's mood. Yeah, it's example given to Srila Prabhupada. And right now you give another example, and I understand what you say. But for neophyte devotee, it looks like you don't follow your guru, your Srila Prabhupada. Yeah? And so many neophyte devotees. My meaning, for example, if I go to school, first of all, my mathematics teacher telling me, from 1, not possible make -2. But after few years, I understand it's possible, it's -1. Yeah? I think it's the same situation. When Prabhupada gives some example, it's very, very hard. It's like a school. Teacher say, it's not possible. From 1, not possible make -2. But I think spiritual world is more bigger, and reality is more big. So I'm not fighting. I just asking you because I'm very interested in your meaning. And thank you so much.
Thank you. The problem you have to understand, there's something called Vyanjanbad, means the implied meaning. What is the intention? What is the intention of the writer and intention of the author? So Prabhupada has a particular intention. When he's writing his books, he's trying to make devotees of Krishna and make devotees of ISKCON primarily. So he has to kind of present things in such a way to make it easy for everyone to accept it. That's why ISKCON is the most popular movement around the world, because it's very authoritarian and very eliminating, this is good, this is bad, this is good, this is bad. It's easy to fall in line. So Prabhupada had a great task to do, and he did it very successfully. But to create this unified mission of ISKCON, he had to cut a lot of corners and chop a lot of people. Like he only quoted his guru. He said his guru held the Bhagavad Gita in one hand and Chopper in the other hand, like Parasuram. So Bhakti Siddhanta preached like Parasuram, Chopper in one hand and Gita in the other hand. So Prabhupada was a little like that. This is no good, this is no good, this is no good. My bodies are demons, scientists are demons, everybody's a demon. Only the way is good. So it's a little excessive, but it got the job done. We all became devotees. But as we mature and grow up, we understand this very broad world. So it's okay. Keep your faith, keep your respect, and use your intelligence. Tension. Yeah.
Just something comes in mind in relation to this topic. It's not a question. Is it possible?
Yeah.
Maharaj, as these aspects of bhavas of Gaudiya Mahaprabhu, when he is in Radha Bhav, Krishna Bhav, in his Leela, literally explain mostly he is in Radha Bhav. He went with Gadadhar and morning pastimes. When they go out for Mother Ganga, then he is in Krishna Bhav calling the names of his cows and playing with Nityananda, etc. So this is even obvious within his Leela that he shows Krishna Bhav. So I just, what comes in mind, all these subtleties we never, within the society that Srila Prabhupada gave us, never experienced that someone is so much into depth, except exceptions as it would be, but on general basis discuss at all Krishna's Radha Bhav before Govinda Maharaj, etc., the devotees, etc. We had at least throughout the years possibility to hear about Gaudiya Mahaprabhu and Radha Bhav, as well as even less about Krishna Bhav. But just related to this point that Srila Prabhupada says we don't accept Krishna, like Gaudiya Mahaprabhu and Krishna Bhav in Mayapur, and the mercy to be throughout the years. Headquarters of ISKCON, Gaudiya Mahaprabhu in Panchatattva, and all Gaudiya Mahaprabhus are wearing peacock feathers. So if someone would be really aware of subtleties, and even as Srila Prabhupada said Krishna is in Radha Bhav, it won't disturb him, this Krishna Bhav, why at all put the peacock feather? So then it means, and he's wearing peacock feather there, means he is the Supreme Personality of God, Godhead.
I never heard that.
Yeah, he is having the peacock feather. So, and I also was not aware, but then in Mayapur devotees that you also know who are the stanch or the devotee, the stanch worshipper in Gauri Bhav, that it's the point that actually pointed, and I realized, yes, of course, like I've actually never heard anyone except Govinda Maharaj speaking of Krishna and Radha Bhav, or Chaitanya Charitamrita speaks about that. And I was always aware, yeah, he has peacock feathers, which means he's not even worshipped as Radharani, but is worshipped as Krishna. If someone would wish to say, to the acceptance.
So first only Gauranga has peacock feather?
He has peacock feather in my
But they put
opinion.
in on different
Even if
houses,
he
they
doesn't
put in many
come.
temples.
He is having a peacock.
Only Gauranga.
Yes.
Yeah, Guranga.
But in other ISKCON temples, they put on Nityananda also.
That's even like.
There's a picture right here.
So Guranga is wearing peacock feather.
On the camera.
Everywhere.
So just mean to say that that's if we didn't even who is there that much studying the subtleties of bhavas and which Prabhupada said we don't disturb him, if we don't disturb him, if that's how to say would be followed that
In the ISKCON world headquarters, Mayapur temple, Gauranga wears a peacock feather, which is a symbol of Krishna and Krishna Bhav. So where is the Radha Bhav?
that's
Where is Radha Bhav? You got peacock feather.
Gaur Govind Maharaj wanted, like he gave a series of classes where he wanted to stop the putting the peacock feather, and there was some controversy about it, like when he was alive as well on this subject. And his disciple wrote some GBC resolutions on it. Anyways, there's a whole history on the peacock feather on Gaur Govind Maharaj. Yes,
Well, the peacock feather won.
peacock feather.
The Gauranga Nagari's won.
it shows as if it would be like that, but actually not much awareness of really the bhavas of Radha, about Krishna, but just in general, Supreme Personality of Godhead, Shri Krishna, we discussed this.
Kids not Nagari won. Okay, where are we? Very good, Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe. Question. Next question.
Who gives different sthayi bhav to the jiva? Is it an independent choice of the jiva to which bhav they may choose, or Krishna decides which bhav they will get attracted to?
Who gives the sthayi to the devotee? Does what?
Independent choice of the jiva
Is the independent choice of jiva, or is Krishna given?
decides.
Nityabhara jiva doesn't have any sthairati. He generally receives a sthairati from Guru at the time of Diksha. The sthairati in the heart of the Guru is transmitted to the heart of the devotee through the Diksha mantras and the meaning of the Diksha mantras. The meaning of the mantras to meditate by the Guru to the disciple at the time of initiation. So the Guru's Sthairati is fact in the Diksha mantras and the conception of the Diksha mantras given by the Guru. So it's received by the disciple. Like father, like son, like father, like daughter. Do the father and mother have brown eyes? The kid will have brown eyes. So the father has Madhurati, then the kids have Madhurati. Because it says the heart of the conditioned soul is like a crystal. So it reflects the color that crystal reflects any color that's next to it. So the Guru has particular Sthairati that's reflected in the heart of the disciple. It's not the choice. There's something he told by Joshi Jacinda about it's called Gata Samskars. There's a lot of debate among Vaishnava scholars. What does Gata Samskar mean? That means a deep samskar for interest in particular starati. So that samskar may be created last life by Guru Diksha. It's hard to explain. But generally it's explained that the conditional has no starati and receives it from say a person.
If Diksha Guru has left his body, then what is the etiquette for determining whom to approach for obtaining Siddha Pranam?
If the Diksha Guru has left this world before the disciple, and the Diksha Guru hasn't given Siddha Pranali or revealed the Siddha Daya to the disciple, what is the procedure for the disciple to receive Siddha Daya? Generally, it's advised that one should go to see God brothers of the Guru. See God brothers of the Guru to receive Siddha Daya, or senior God brothers of the disciple. But generally, it's taught some God brother of the Guru. In other words, the Gurus need to know Paribhar. And he's initiated by a Guru. And he has another devotee that's a friend of your Guru, is initiated by the same Guru as your Guru. So you take Siddha Pranali from him. And Reciprocation asked Prabhupada the same question in 1975 or 4. He said, Prabhupada, if you go to the spiritual world and we don't get our Siddha Daya from you before you go, how will we get our Siddha Daya? He said, from the spiritual world I'll give it to you. And Prabhupada said, I'll give you Siddha Daya from the spiritual world. So that's what happened. The case of Indra Das, he always told the story. He had a dream, and the dream of Prabhupada. Prabhupada spoke to him, told him his Siddha Daya. So Prabhupada was in the spiritual world when this dream took place. Prabhupada left in 1977. Indra Das had his dream in 2008 or 9 or something like that. Towards the end of Indra's life, he had a dream of Prabhupada, told him his Siddha Daya. So Prabhupada told him in the spiritual world. So your Guru goes without telling you. You can pray to your Guru to reveal your Siddha Daya from the spiritual world. Or you can go to a God brother of your Guru and ask him to reveal your Siddha Daya. Or go to some other Guru to get Siddha Daya. But generally, if you go to some Guru, get Siddha Daya, that Guru will tell you how to get everything. You have to get sadhya Daya and Siddha Daya. Now you come to ISKCON and you see my Guru left, I didn't get Siddha Daya, I want Siddha Daya. Then the Guru will say, first you get sadhya Daya. You take initiation again, hear the mantras again, then do seva, then we'll think about Siddha Daya. That's right. Okay, question. Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit more about Ananga Manjari and her role in Nitya Leela?
What's the question?
Ananga Manjari,
What about her?
just her role in Nitya Leela, like what her role is. She seems to be important in the Nityanand Parivar. Andhra Prabhu spoke a lot about her. And yeah.
I'm not a big authority on Nanga Manjari. I don't know so much about her. There's some books written about her. But Radha Krishna Gaudiya Shivika says Nanga Manjari is a Vara Sakhi. She has the name Manjari because she's a little younger, of course, than Radharani. Radharani's 14, so she's like at least 13, maybe younger. So she's young, she's Radharani's sister, but she's called a Vara Sakhi. Her category is Manjari, although her name is Manjari. And she's very special because she has a kunj right in the middle of Radha Kunda. All the other Sakhis, Asa Sakhis have kunjas around Radha. North is Salita, northeast of Vishaka, and like this, Chitra, like that, all Sakhi. So she's very special placement in the Radha Kunda Yoga Pit and all the Yoga Pits. She's very. And Krishna, there's a book written called Nanga Manjari Samputika, written by Ramchandra Goswami, who is the adopted son of Janamata. Janamata is a form of Nanga Manjari in Gaur Leela. So Ramchandra Goswami wrote a lot of details about the form and sevas of Nanga Manjari in that book, Nanga Manjari Samputika. There are some philosophical discrepancies in that book that some Brahmacharyas don't accept, but otherwise it has a lot of nice points about Nanga Manjari. So I can read that book. And then Nanga Manjari Samputika by Ramchandra Goswami. It's translated in English also, maybe Hindi also. It's on net, I think it's on internet. Is it a bookshop? Yeah. She's very important for Nityananda Parivar. Because they have, like, usually it's Lita Rupa and Nityananda Parivar, but it's Lita Rupa and Nanga Manjari. And Vaita Parivar is Vishaka Rati Manjari. Nanga Manjari doesn't play so much role there. But she's Radharani's sister. Not a small time. So Indra had a murti of Ananga Manjari. Question.
Would you please tell something about Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his form in Krishna Lila, like who is he and some pastimes that are very different?
Bhaktivinoda Thakur. She is asking, please tell something about Bhaktivinoda Thakur and his Swarup in Krishna Lila.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur. His Swarup? What?
In Krishna Lila.
His true is Kamala Manjari, I believe so. Kamala Manjari, Bhakti Thakur took Siddha Pranali from Vivid Hari Goswami from Navadvip. And is that right? Kamala Manjari. I think it's Kamala Manjari. There's a book by a songbook by Bhakti Thakur called Gita Mala. And he talks about his Manjari Sroop there, the Gita Mala songbook. It's called Gita Mala. I used to have that book. I don't have that book anymore. So I can't talk too much about it. I don't remember. But it's described in a songbook in English called Gita Mala. He talks about his age and his seva and his guru. His guru's name is Vilas Manjari. Vividihari is called Vilas Manjari. I don't know much about it. People in this kind know more about it. I'm not this kind. I was, but I don't remember much about it. Shinadapi Snichena Tori Vasusana Mahanidhi Swami. Where's your brother coming?
Radhe Radhe.
Rahul.
Chris. What will assist the transition from I am Radha's to Radha is mine? What will assist the transition from I am Radha's to Radha is mine?
How will one transit?
Transition.
Yeah, transition from feeling I belong to Radha, Radha belongs to me. I don't know. I can't answer that. I'm trying to understand that I belong to Radharani. I'm Radhadasi. Our Goswamis, our Prabhupada Saraswati said, Mama Vilashi. He said, Radhadasyam Brahmavishtam Hridadaryan. And Radharani, Prabhupada Saraswati phrase, Radhadasyam Brahmavishtam Hridadaryan. I'm holding in my heart my highest aspiration to become a servant of Radharani's lotus feet. So I don't read anywhere where the Goswamis are saying Radharani's mine. They're all saying, I want to be Radharani's servant. Krishna can say Radharani's mine. Krishna has mamata bhav for Radharani, and Radharani has mamata bhav for Krishna. The Manjaris have dasi bhav. I have dasi Radharani. This is verse 259. Verse 259 of Radha Suniti. Radha Dasyam, Pramavishtam, Rida Darya. I'm holding in my heart my highest ambition, become a servant of Radha's feet. Means I am Radha's. I belong to Radha. If I attain that much, if I realize that much, that's good enough. If I just realize I'm an eternal servant of Radharani, that would be my perfection. So you think you have possessions for something, it implies a sense of control. Radharani is mine. It implies I can control her. But my mood is I am Radharani's. Radharani controls me. I'm not able to control Radharani. I'm hers. I'm her property. I'm her dasi. I'm her slave. That's the understanding I'm trying to attain. So I can't answer, I don't know the answer, how to make the transition from I am a servant of Radharani, that I belong to Radharani, to the transition to Radharani belongs to me. Radharani is mine. Naturally, every servant, every manji feels everything is Radharani. But the idea of mine is Radharani is my possession, because Mamtava means possessiveness. I don't possess Radharani. Krishna possesses Radharani. I want Radharani to possess me. What do you say about that?
Exactly like that, Maharaj. Now when hearing you, I was just amazed how right to the point that I'm learning so much as you answered now, because so easily we can slip into that, we've heard that in devotional service the mood, like as a Sakis and first of all Srimati Radharani, they don't feel Krishna is, I'm Krishna's, but Krishna is mine. So it seems to just copy that mood, we should also feel now as Radharani feels for Krishna, but in actuality such a subtle point that you explained is so valuable. Thank you endlessly.
Radha Pramavishtam Rida Darya. I'm holding in my heart a highest aspiration. It's the end of Rarasindhini. There's 272 verses, this is verse 259. So who is more intimate with Radharani than Tungavidya, the Prabhupada and the Saraswati? So rainy season coming a little bit. A few drops last night. A little cooler. I had to rain dance. American Indians did rain dance. Java Dansha Hari Krishna. Question that.
Gurudev, what is Yoga Pit? How is it some dimensional appearance? Sri Navadvip Dham is also termed with Yoga Pit. Please comment. What is Yoga Pit? How is it some dimensional appearance? Sri Navadvip Dham is also termed with Yoga Pit. Please comment.
Asking about Yoga Pit. Yoga Pit is a place where Gauranga or Krishna meet with their intimate associates and are worshipped there before they begin their continuous flow of eternal pastimes. So Navadvip, there's 3 yoga pits in Navadvip. The first yoga pit is, you talk about dimensions, it's a place, it's a mandir. So it exists in time and space. It can be seen with the eyes. In Prakat Lila of Gauranga, and Prakat Lila of Ramakrishna, you can see Yoga Pit Mandir. It's a mandir. It's called Yoga Pit Mandir. And more Yoga Pit is in the state of Jagannath Mishra Bhavan. There's a Narayan temple in the center of Antardweep. In the center of Antardweep, here's the state of Jagannath Mishra. In the center of the whole, like the hillock, there's a hill going up from Ganga. On the top of the hill is Yoga Pit Mandir. Yoga Pit Mandir has 9 domes. 1 big center dome and 8 smaller domes, and 4 doors in 4 directions. And there's a lotus design inside on the floor, and there's asanas for the Panchatattva. And it's a place where Panchatattva meet there with the Asta Goswamis, Asta Kairajas, Asta Mahants, and 4 gatekeepers, and all the parivars and disciples, different parivars. Everyone meets there and worships the team Prabhu, Gauranga, Nityananda, and Vaita, and the Sri Prasad, everyone. Minimally, Gauranga, Prasad, Mala, and Chandan. And then there's Artik and Kirtan. Everybody goes and Leelas begin. Askaya Leela begins. So the same thing is there. In the morning is in Mahaprabhu's house. In the afternoon is in Shiva's Sakura's garden. In the evening it's in Shiva's Angan. And in Vrindavan Yoga Pit, morning Yoga Pit is in Gupta Kund and Nandagram. The afternoon Yoga Pit is in Lita's Kunj and Radha Kunda. And the evening Yoga Pit is called Maha Yoga Pit. It's in the location of the Prachin Raghavinda Mandir today in Vrindavan. That's the evening Yoga Pit. So in Vrindavan Yoga Pit, Radha Krishna in the center on Asan, surrounded by Astamandris, Astasakis, Asubasakis, the 4 gatekeepers, and all the Sakhi Manjaris, every parivar. So they worship Radha Krishna there. They offer Krishna Prasadi to all everybody there. They have Arti, the Kirtan, and then the Leelas begin. Flower picking, Bon Bihar, Rasya, Jal Keli, Madhapan Leelas, Rati Keli, so many different Leelas. So Yoga Pit is actual mandir, is a transcendental place of meeting. It's like a meeting house where a group of intimate devotees meet and are worshipped and meditated upon. See you there. We go there every morning. We do a lot of traveling in the morning. We go to Navadip, Prakalila, Navadip, Prakalila, Vrindavan. And come back, go to Soji Market. Travel throughout time, throughout space. Then come back and wash our clothes, hang on the line, and go to Soji Market. The next day we travel to Nityanavadip, Nitya Vrindavan. Living in two worlds. Abrakat Vrindavan and Prakat Vrindavan. Question. Wow.
Utkar Shupadhyay. Jai Sri Radhe Maharaj, my obeisances and your lotus feet. My question is, can disciple know what is his Gurudev's real Swarup and Seva in Golak Vrindavan?
Question is, can the disciple know what the Guru's sadhya and seva is for Vrindavan? Answer is yes. First find a Guru that surrenders him and find out what your own sadhya is and find out your Guru's also. Question? That's right.
What is the Parakya form? Because in material world it is not encouraged. Parakya. When they feel gopis also feel that they are doing something wrong and is it like that? Parakya.
Questions about Parakya Bhav of the gopis. Of course, Parakya Bhav in the material world is condemned. It's immoral, and it's illegal, and it's adharmic. So it's not the subject of rasa literature. But it's the topmost subject of prema, relation to Krishna and Vrindavan. The gopis are the Parakya lovers of Krishna. And the gopis are the topmost examples of Uttam Bhakti. When Rupa Goswami created the definition of pure Bhakti in Nectar of Devotion, he already had an example of what pure Bhakti is. He saw the example, he read about the example, now he had to define it. So the example of the topmost pure Uttam Bhakti is the Parakya Gopi lovers of Krishna Vrindavan. Radharani, Lita Vishaka. The gopis are married to another husband, they leave their husband, they leave everything to Radha Krishna. They offer themselves for Krishna's happiness. So when he made the definition of pure Bhakti, Uttam Bhakti, he had an example. He saw the gopis. He said, how do I define the gopis' love? So what did he say? Adhyabhilashita Shunyam Jnanakarmadinaritam Anukulina Krishna Shiranam Bhakti Uttama. This is Uttam Bhakti. The gopis love for Krishna is Uttam Bhakti. So that which is the lowest, most condemnable activity in the mature world is the highest, most praiseworthy activity in the spiritual world. The Parakya love of the gopis. The Paramara love of the gopis for Krishna. It is so commendable and so respectable and so desirable. The greatest self-controlled yogis and saints, they desire to become gopis. Shruticharis from Vaikuntha and the Dandakaranya sages, the Ram Lila, and all the greatest personalities, Shiva, Brahma, everyone, they desire to become gopis in Vrindavan, become Krishna's lovers. So Parakya Bhav is despicable and condemnable in the mature world, immoral and illegal. But in Krishna's Lila is the highest attainment of pure bhakti. Uddhava Mahashaya glorifies the gopis and his prayers to the gopis. It's in 47 chapters. The Samahochara Renu Aham Jusham Aham Sham Vrindavana Kim Kamalata Oshidinam Yadushidam Arivatam Hitva Major Vakandam Padavan Shukti Vigan. There's a verse right. Uddhava Mahashaya is the greatest Lord devotee. He glorifies the gopis. The Samahochara. I think it's here. 682. This is the gopis. The lowest thing in this material world is the highest thing in the spiritual world. Pretty cool, huh? 10th Canto Bhagavatam, chapter 47. Verse 61. It's also an Atya Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 7, verse 47. Asamahocharan Ayu Jushamaham Sam Vrindavane Kim Avigomalata Oshadinam Yadushidam Swajanam Arivatam Tahitva Vajramakundam Padavam Shrutabhirvigam. The Braja Gopis, the Parakya lovers of Krishna, the Braja Gopis, gave up everything that's very difficult to give up. They gave up children, family, the path of chastity. They taken shelter of Prema Bhakti that is searched for but rarely attained by the Veda Shrutis. My prayer, Uddhava is praying, that I may appear in Vrindavan as a bush or creeper or a gomalata, to receive the foot dust of these gopis. The gopis sing about Krishna. The gopis sing a love song. Gopis are the Paramar lovers of Krishna. Parakya Bhav. And Uddhava glorifies them. He says, Vande Nanda Brajashina Parena Vikshnasha Yasam Hari Katha Tam Punati Bhuvanachayam. He also another prayer. He says the gopis, I perpetually worship the gopis of Nanda Braj. When they sing, they loudly sing Hari Katha. Punati Bhuvanachara. When the gopis loudly sing their love songs to Krishna, it purifies the whole universe. Purifies the three planets. Bhur Swa. Three planets become purified by the gopi song. So one song the gopis sing in 10th canto, chapter 29, is called Love Song. It specifically is called Pranaya Gita. Pranaya means love song. So that's the love song of illicit lovers. Parakeet lovers of Krishna. Gopis are singing a love song to Krishna. And that song they sing purifies the whole universe. This is the position of Parakeet Bhava. Gopi Bhava Ki Jai. So don't run around other people's wives. Become a Manjari Sura and chase her when she runs after Krishna. That's good. Another question?
Maharaj, you said that a devotee comes under the control of Yogamaya, then he reaches Asakti, Bhava and Prema. Till that time he is under Mahamaya. Then can a devotee remain not influenced by the planets before he reaches Asakti?
Devotee comes under, basically the answer is devotees under Yogamaya at the level of Prema. Maybe some influence at the level of Bhava, but not as Sakti. But he said as Sakti. He's not under Yogamaya as Sakti. Yogamaya is specifically working in the spiritual world, relationship with Krishna. That's the level of Prema. As far as planets, this person is always asking a question about planets. Prabhupada once said, a devotee was complaining to Prabhupada, Prabhupada, I have Rahu in my 9th house. The Rahu is making it hard for me to practice Bhakti. The Prabhupada said, because Bhakti, 9th house is Dharma. So Prabhupada said, Krishna with his little toe, with his pinky toe, he can kick 10,000 Rahus out of your house. Boom, 10,000 Rahus. Just Hare Krishna and do Bhakti Bhajan. So no, he doesn't worry about plans. He just does seva. All the planets are controlled by Krishna. Shani is a big planet. Shani, Saturn. A lot of people get harassed by Saturn. Their bad karma is given to them by Saturn. But Saturn offers prayers to Srinivas. So Shani's Charastuti. Saturn, Shani Maharaj is offering prayers to Srinivas. And Srinivas accepts these prayers. He says, listen, Shani Baba, anyone who sings your prayers, I'll make them happy, make them peaceful. You won't disturb them. Anybody glorifies, sings your prayer, Shani Maharaj, anyone sings your prayers, glorifying Lord Srinivas, I guarantee that devotee will be disturbed. So that means that devotees are not disturbed by the planets. Saturn, Rahu, Ketu, this one, that. The main thing you have to worry about is if you're married. It's called Planet Putney. It's a very dangerous planet. There's no remedial measure. There's no watch and no tantra to control. Putney Grahan. Putney Grahan is a very dangerous Grahan. If you're married, if you're a woman, Pati Grahan. Pati means husband, Pati means wife. A planet called wife, a planet called husband. They're dangerous planets. Very dangerous combination. So anyone who's worried about the planets, they're not a very sincere devotee. When a devotee is happy or sad, when he's having hard times or bad times, he just keeps serving Krishna. He doesn't stop his service. That's what it means to be a devotee. Nishta, steady in service. Happiness and distress, they come and go. Whatever the cause is disease, causes your mother, your father, causes your husband, your wife, causes the planets, this transit, that transit. Doesn't matter what the cause, you keep serving Krishna. Keep shining your japa around, keep offering puja to Thakurji. You keep serving, doesn't stop. Don't waste time with plans. Interesting note for all you planetary watchers. There's not one word in the Goswami books about astrology. I like that. There are so many books about astrology, this one, that one, this transits and this and that, sun signs, moon signs, lagnas and rashis and compatibility. The Goswami, Shiva Goswami, all Sandarbhas, all the books of Goswami is not one sloka about astrology. And they knew astrology. What does that mean? That means they didn't think it doesn't mean anything for bhakti. It has zero value in bhakti. They wrote about everything, Sandarbhas, Briha Bhavatamrita, Laghu Bhavatamrita, Rupa Goswami, Jiva Goswami, hundreds of books, not one sloka about astrology. What does that mean? Turchavat. Turchavat means insignificant. Bhakti is everything. Get the newspaper. Astrology column. What's my good luck today? Pick up your beads and find so much good luck. Fire astrology. Dick. Dick. D-H-I-K is five. Dick. No rules for them. You're young or you're old, no rules. Question. I'll take a question. Frederica. Saving all week. Yeah.
In Bhagavad Gita it is said Agnya gives rains. What is this Agnya here, Maharaj? Now also the rains will come. Is it because of due to yajna or something else? I want to understand that sloka better.
Nād bhavati parjanya. That's the whole slogan.
अन्नात् भवन्ति भूतानि पर्जन्यात् अन्न संभवः यज्ञात् भवति पर्जन्यो यज्ञ कर्म समुद्भवः.
Translation. What number?
Bhagavad Gita chapter 3 14th sloka. All living beings subsist on food, and food is produced by rains. Rains come from the performance of sacrifice, and sacrifice is produced by the performance of prescribed duties.
What's the question?
Here, what is this yajna? Yajna, always Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita about for the pleasure of Lord. Whatever you do is called as yajna, sacrifice. So, but now also rains come, even if we are not doing yajna. So, how can I comprehend this sloka?
So rains are produced from sacrifice. So you may not be doing sacrifice, but she may be. So because she's doing sacrifice, she gets the rain. Okay, it's truth. I mean, someone somewhere is doing sacrifice. Nam Yajna. Nam Yajna is one sacrifice. It's called Nam Yajna. Then the Kadavada. Krishna Varanti Sa Krishna Sangha Bhanga Saparja Yagyasya Kirtana Priya Vijati Isvesha. Then the Kadavada. Nam Yajna. So is Nam. Raghunatha Swami. The Kanda Kirtan for 50 years. This guy for 25 years, the Kanda Kirtan. So he plays the Kanda Kirtan. So yoga is going on, so it's a rain's coming. You're not doing any yoga. We shouldn't have put it, we shouldn't give you any rain, but we'll give you some too.
Thank you.
It's like I have a yard full of trees. I'm producing so much oxygen. I'm distributing it free to my neighbors and not sending any bill. Oxygen bill. Because if I have electric bill, water bill, I should send oxygen bill. There's 40 trees here. 40 trees. Give you so much oxygen. So I get a bill. 100 oxygen bill. Yeah, she should pay double. Ronnie Baba.
I remembered my question. In Chaitanya Charitamrita chapter 4, Adilila, verse 78, is written, the goddesses of fortune are her plenary portions, and they display the forms of Vaibhava Vilas. The queens are of the nature of her Vaibhava Prakash. What means Vaibhava Vilas, Vaibhava Prakash?
What did you say?
I don't understand the meaning of these words. In general, the meaning of the verse, I don't understand.
There's different expansions of Radharani and Krishna called Vaibhava Vilas, Vaibhava Prakash. Vaibhava means opulence. They manifest different degrees of opulence. You can read more about this through Goswami's Logo Bhagavatamrita. You have that book?
No.
Download it. Laghu Bhagavatamrita, L-A-G-H-U, Bhagavatamrita. He describes all this by Bhava Prakash also.
Internet questions.
Okay.
Maharaj, Prabhupada said that Guru is a principle, not a body or a person. Can you please elaborate on this?
Guru is a principle, not a body.
Or a person?
Who said?
Rahul.
Where does he say that? You have to know the context. You can't take one verse out of the middle of a book. You have to know the context. Prabhupada, the question is, I don't know if Prabhupada said it, but the assumption is that Prabhupada said, Guru is a principle, not a person. So that means Prabhupada's not a person? You have to think of, you have to read the whole section. If Prabhupada said that, you have to read the whole section. What is the intention? What is he saying? Definitely, the truth is, Guru is not a principle. Guru is a person, and he's a representative of God, and he's a teacher. Guru is not a principle. I disagree. Guru is not a principle. Guru is a person. He represents Krishna. He represents the Vedic knowledge. He's a teacher of Vedic wisdom. He has a form. It's called Guru Vani and Guru Vabu. When you describe Guru, 2 words you use to describe Guru. Guru Vani means teacher of Guru. Guru Vabu, the word Vabu means V-A-P-U-H. Vabu means Rupa, means form. Guru has a form and he has teachings. So Guru is what? Guru, nowhere it says he's a principle. There's a truth called Guru Tava. There's truths about what's the definition of Guru, what is the qualification of Guru. It's called Guru Tava, Non-Tava, Lila Tava, Pray Tava, Shakti Tava. These are truths that have to be understood. So Guru is a Tava, is a truth that has to be understood. But if the Guru is a person, how can you say Guru is a principle? The Guru is a principle. If by principle you mean a truth, just like Shakti, principle of Shakti. But it's not called, the word is not principle. It's tattva. Tattva means, non-tattva means the truth of Nam. Oh, good night. Oh, 2 more.
Yes. Maharaj, it is said that Paramatma expands as Diksha Guru and Siksha Guru. After the physical disappearance of Diksha Guru, if Paramatma comes in the form of a Siksha Guru, then how do we recognize him? Can we accept that Siksha Guru without the permission of Diksha Guru, since Diksha Guru had already disappeared?
I'm lost. I'm lost. I don't follow the question. Another question.
Maharaj, unlike traditional Gaudiya Sampradayas, Prabhupada did not give Gopal mantra in Diksha. What do you... Unlike. What do you think of its reason? Is it really important to receive Gopal mantra to attain Vrajapren?
We started these classes, Sunday Satsang, 2000, when? 14? 9 years, 15? 8 years ago. And some questions we've been asked already 100 times the same question. Diksha is defined as receiving Gopal mantra. The Gopal mantra and Kamgaji are the two Diksha mantras described in Hari Bhakti Vilas by Gaudiya Vaisnava. So in the Gaudiya Sampradaya, the Diksha mantras are Gopal mantra and Kamgaji. Prabhupada gave these two mantras when he gave Diksha. I don't know what the person is saying. But people in this come, many people got Diksha, they got Gopal mantra and Kamgaji. Because these are the Diksha mantras that go to Sampradaya. So as far as going back to Godhead, we should take Diksha mantras, because this is the example of all the acharyas. This is the teachings of all the acharyas. This is the teaching of Krishna by principle and by example. Krishna took Diksha himself, and he teaches everybody else should take Diksha also. Try to learn the truth by studying the Guru and taking Diksha. Guru Goswami says, study the Guru and take Diksha. Bhakti begins with study the Guru, Diksha, and Shiksha. This is Bhakti Sri Radhe. First 3 limbs of devotion. Guru Padashraya, Diksha, Adi, Shikshana. What's the big problem? Why is everybody so crazy? Everybody talks so crazy. You meet a Guru, you study the Guru gives you Diksha and he teaches you. Diksha doesn't mean Hari Krishna mantra. Hari Krishna mantra is free anyway can study. Diksha's specific function is described in Atulya chapter 4. Lord Chaitanya describes Diksha. Diksha Kalyama Samarpan. Diksha, Lord Chaitanya got Gopal mantra. Gopal Kumar, Brihavatamari got Gopal mantra. Vedacharya got Gopal mantra. Nityananda got Gopal mantra. What's your problem? Find a Guru, surrender the Guru, receive Diksha mantras, Gopal mantra, and get teaching how to do Bhakti Bhajan. Bhakti Bhajan includes saying Hare Krishna mantra, and Sankhya, and chanting Anik once a day, Diksha mantras, doing other sevas. This is Bhakti Bhajan. I don't have that question, so I didn't record it. What's it called? Need for Diksha. Need, N-E-E-D, need for Diksha. What time is it now?
5:13.
5:13. Jaya Jaya Sri Radhe.